peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Constitution is never static, it's dynamic. The people of Kenya agreed in 2010 that the Constitution has 20% of things that need to be corrected.
Correct.
When Kibaki and Raila Amolo Odinga worked their way at midnight of that day in 2010 to pass this constitution, they knew there were faults and fault lines. Time has come that the fault lines within the constitution framework of the Republic of Kenya are redefined, remolded, expanded, whatever word you want, remove some, added. Good morning, viewers. Welcome to Punchline Africa Television in Nairobi, Kenya. Down, Miriam, good morning. Take it over from here.
A very good morning to you, Doctor, there from the Political Command Center. And also joining us on the show this morning is Professor Jared Onyari. Professor, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Miriam and Dr. Masanga and our viewers.
Right, thank you so much. And Karen shall be joining us very shortly. And before we get into the headlines, let me first bring us up to date with the current situation in regards to COVID-19 in Kenya and then in Africa. And as we stand this morning, the confirmed cases in the country stands at 27,425 cases. The deaths are 438. Recoveries is 13,867, and Uganda, the cases right now is at 1,313. 9 people have died. Recoveries is 1,138, and the rest we shall look at later on the other shows. So let's just look at the total cases of that have been confirmed in the continent, and right now we are at 1,057,687 confirmed cases in Africa, and the number of deaths that have been recorded is 23,603, and so far recovery stands at 744,442. And the global cases have surpassed 20,000, and right now they stand at 20.5 plus, million cases, and the death toll is 745,960, and the global recoveries stands at 13.4 plus a million cases that have so far have recovered from the COVID situation across the world. So let's just jump into what is the latest here in terms of, I don't know if we should look at the COVID-19, but there's not so much that we have from the Ministry of Health. But, an announcement yesterday, Prof and Doctor, came from Russia, and they're saying they already have a vaccine for COVID-19 that is set to be rolled out, I think, later in October. And World Health Organization is in talks with them, although World Health Organization has not been able to test this vaccine. And we know just a couple of weeks ago, Russia was being accused by, I think, China and other countries that it's trying to, break into their system and steal some of these, vaccine formulas and all that these countries have been trying to develop. So is there hope at the end of this all, Prof?
In fact, this is the kind of hope, Miriam, we could be expecting to be here. Dr. Masanga has been saying that every other day, even in our country, we should be updated in terms of research to have a breakthrough for the vaccine for COVID-19 is what we have been. This is good news, and when it comes to making vaccine in the world, sometimes I see a lot of jealous from other quarters. The people cannot put efforts together so that we can come with a vaccine to treat this pandemic. So any vaccine which will be found towards fighting COVID-19 is a good move, and I expect the science from China and everywhere else to combine efforts so that we see that we find that the vaccine for treating COVID-19 is found. There shouldn't be no animosity, because unless a life is being lost.
All right, very well, Dr. Russia is saying we have the solution. World Health Organization says we've not.
I put it yesterday.
Yes.
Miriam, I am the news agent myself. I picked it from Russia. You have seen it on my wall, Professor. It is over 300 people liked it. At first, I think Facebook, anytime you post medicine, they actually delete you off. But I'm surprised, because big organizations like the Bloomberg also posted. So I survived that chip, that cut off. You notice that of late, if you post anything about COVID-19, of healing, or the Facebook blocks you temporarily for some hours. But I was lucky. As soon as the thing came out like this, yesterday, I did put it on my Facebook, and it has collected over 300 likes. Very nice smiling likes, and over 200, comments. So that is very, very good. This is the hope that I've been telling you. I've been saying, now this lady this week has come, Muganga, Sitwi Muganga. What is her name again? I am very bad at names.
Dr. Masi.
Masi Muganga. Angagi. She has come reading an essay. Well, you are going to see disaster. Yes. Anytime she comes, I'm very scared, man. Yes.
All right.
No hope. Miriam, have you seen the hope coming from Russia? Isn't that hope?
Yes, that's what we have been talking about.
That is the hope we want. Tell us we have discovered food that can change your immune system. You know why I like Mutahi Kagwe? When he's reading these things, he becomes, a very good communicator, using some metaphors that make a patient even heal. Healing is not only injection. Healing is the goodwill. You must have the goodwill to have those injections pumped into you every day. Otherwise, you can wake up in the morning and say, I don't want any injections today. Wacha nikufe. There's a time a disease becomes too much. You say, no. This has been too much. So you need someone to encourage you. Miriam, thank you very much. I think for me, Russia, I think by now they should have sent a jet to Moscow. But our Foreign Affairs Ministry, I think, Wagwan. I don't know.
I think, like what Dr. Mwangangi said yesterday, the Ministry of Health and the government of Kenya is looking to talk to the Russian government. So I think they're still working on it, because Russia, as World Health Organization came out there to say, World Health Organization has not tried this vaccine, and Russia, I think, tried it on its soldiers there by force. I'm told, Karen, you are on the line. Good morning to you.
No,
very good morning to you, Miriam.
Before Karen comes in, let's not distort things. That by force.
Mandatory.
Yeah, but it is mandatory. Is a law.
Yeah.
Each country has got a law. For example, in the United States, it is mandatory that every person joining the army has to serve certain number of years before retirement. Now, does that become force, surely?
That is a must.
Yeah, but it's not a force.
Okay.
Nobody wants you to join the army.
But
you go in the army willingly. So, but once you are there, it doesn't become a force.
But for the vaccine, though, like you didn't have a choice. You were tried on whether you like it or not. So that is what they did in Russia. But yeah, the vaccine is out there. Joseph, Karen, good morning.
Very good morning to you, Miriam, and Dr. Matanga and Professor Jarrell. This is Karen Joseph from Malindi, and it's very cool here. We're having showers at the coast. Thanks for having me here today.
Thank you so much. And you just gotten us in that question of COVID-19. There seems to be some hope at the end of the tunnel there. Russia has come out and said they have been developing a vaccine and they've already tried it, and now it will start rolling out in October. So it seems to be, there's hope after all.
Yes, Miriam, you're very correct. There is hope, and losing hope is not an option in this life. It's something that keeps us moving, knowing that we have come up with a vaccine. And those who have lost hope, it's time for them to get revived. So it has woken up everybody who was asleep, knowing that people somewhere were working on it. So it's commendable, Miriam.
All right, thank you so much. So that is the latest there and the update there on COVID-19. As we said there, Kenya right now has a total of 27,425 cases. The people who have died from COVID-19 is 438, and recoveries right now stands at 13,867. So, Doctor, just now, I know we have a lot. I was watching the news last night, Doctor, and I thought, we'll have a lot to talk about today on the show in regards to what is happening in this country, what happened at Senate, what's happening in the City Hall. It's just a lot is happening, and our Deputy President was somewhere, and some sentiments that he made there. So let's just get into it, and we start with the headlines on the Daily Nation this morning, and it says, "Bring it on, Ruto dares deep state," and down there the story goes, "The gloves are off." Now, in the boldest shot at the system yet, the Deputy President, declares he has Kenyans and God to back his presidential bid, and compares the hurdles in the path of his campaign to the predicament Uhuru Kenyatta and he faced when they sought the presidency while charged with crimes against humanity at the International Criminal Court. And when he was talking, especially when he was mentioning ICC, you could see that look on his face, and it said a lot. Doc.
Why is the look on the face is showing a lot? If he did not even thank the people who helped him, why is she showing a lot? You repeated that the look was showing what? When
he was specifically making reference to him and Uhuru Kenyatta when they were battling the cases at the ICC, you could see his demeanor and his face. And this is a man who has so much in his heart, and I think the look, his general composure, spoke a lot when he was making these statements yesterday.
Let him also be very frank with other people, and I say thank you to other people like us for having helped him. Rule 68 would have taken him down. So he's to change his face nicely, not badly. But coming to the reality, the most important thing that we need to change now, I have been telling Kenyans and telling time and time again, and I think soon you will know that I was right. The problem that we have now here, have you seen it? It has blown up, it's blowing up, slowly growing. Medium, it is growing. All the newspapers here are saying one thing. A plan B man. This is how Museveni started. how Museveni started. In 1982, in 1980, in 1979, when we said we are planning for elections, Museveni started by telling us that there are people wanting to kill me. There are people wanting to frustrate my Medium, and the Professor Onyani, I believe I want the professor to listen on this. He was saying, telling us, the people of the Uganda National Liberation Front, the UNLF. I was in the political and the diplomatic commission. I was working there. In 1979, 80, I was with a man called Nasasira, the bigger brother of Nasasira, the current minister. The late, he died, a very good patriot. We used to work together. And the Museveni used to complain the way Ruto is complaining in Kenya. You know, I'm analyzing what he has said in the newspapers. I can analyze it from London. I can analyze it from Johannesburg. I can analyze it from, in fact, in London, I have an audience of Sky News where I can put 1 hour if I want to molest anyone. But I don't do that. I have the powers now. I've gone back there. But let's be honest. Watch out, you Kenyans. Watch out. These warning shots that the deputy is giving you are very dangerous warning shots. And anybody listening to me, please, take them seriously. We could be having a big war. This guy is not warning us for nothing. He says, bring it on. He is in the system, Miriam. So, which system is he condemning? He's a member of the system. He's a member of the presidency. He's addressing people without a mask. A crowd without a mask. In his house. People are coming from Kajiado, from where, going with disease to his house. He's addressing them without a mask. What type of leader is that? First of all, what type of leadership are you giving to the masses who are supposed to wear masks? That's point number one. Point number two, he's issuing threats like Museveni. Museveni started issuing threats. In 1980, he issued threats that the elections will be rigged. Some people want to rig me, but I will teach them a lesson. This guy is going Museveni way. Jamen, those in Kenya who should listen to me, listen to me. Tomorrow, you might say I was right. These things of getting plan A, plan B, let's follow this guy also. These threats are too many now. Given that he's addressing people, segregating them from the president. From the legacy trend for us, we stand firm, we speak boldly. 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 B-O-L-D. We tell you. He went to the backyard of his friend. He dismantled structures in that backyard. He has now been caught in Catch 22. In the Senate, he told Mulukomen comes from an area which has no road, whose population cries every day. Then he is busy wearing suits, cheap suits from Turkey, and running around in Nairobi. You know the biggest problem of Africa is Lakunule. If you have read the book, The Lion and the Jewel, then you can understand who Mulukomen is. You know Mr. Lakunule in the Lion and the Jewel could not even, he says my clan is all right, but I need Africa. I need the whole mafia, the whole Nigeria to be okay. The Ongoni were sinking, Lakunule. Sorry, Wanyika wrote that book based on the oil. All the books in West Africa are based on that oil medium which you talk about every day. The poverty there. So Lakunule was telling people, Murkomen, Senate, Murkomen in the Senate, and all these younger senators, all of them look at their background. Olokina is from the CIA mechanism. Another, you look at them. They are not fostering the agenda of Kenya. They are fostering an agenda which has to be cut to size. Somebody is telling them to say the things they are saying. Look at Sakaja, lost between identity. He doesn't have identity. Stick to one identity. When you compare those, get those words, medium, bring the words, and then you look at the face which you said. When the man reached there, he said the face. Whom does the face hate? He hates Raila Amolo Odinga. He's the one he's talking about. He's not talking about the deeper. What will he do to Uhuru Kenyatta? Him, this one. What will he do? But when it reached Raila Odinga, he felt like he should, you give such a man leadership here, all of us will be in exile. Everybody, every Kenyan. We created them 7 in Uganda. We used to tell Obote. We used to write reports. Obote even told us, you are just against my son. One morning, I remember he told us that way. You are against my son. He fought a war. He liberated Uganda. Obote loved Museveni, but Museveni never loved Obote. And that is the problem now. The president might love the deputy, but the deputy does not love him. Leo sidio nazungumza ukweli.
All right. And
let me leave it to professor to hear.
So
the deputy might not love the president. The president might have love for the deputy, but the deputy, Anna.
The president might. So might is the word there, the underlining word there. So Deputy President William Ruto has dared the system to bring it on, saying he has God and a majority of Kenyans to back what he said is an unstoppable 2022 presidential campaign. And Prof, while I was watching the news yesterday and even some of that clip, you could see his demeanor. He did not say that with a lot of conviction and confidence that usually our deputy president has, saying that he has God and the majority and he will, his bid is unstoppable. The confidence was not there. I don't know if you watched that. Or maybe I'm reading too much into the
Miriam,
yes.
Thank you for that question. And this is my perspective. To aspire, Miriam, is not to become. Many people have aspired to be the president of this country and they have not become. The fact that you are the deputy president or a vice president of a country does not entitle you to take the presidency. You can, but sometimes it takes long. We have had Muda Awori, the vice president of this country. Did he become a president? We have had Musalia Mudavadi being a president of the vice president. Has he become? We have Kalonzo Musyoka. And you have never shown these leaders saying that they are entitled for that. Miriam, this is the first time the deputy president is telling us that the system and is in government. If it's man enough and is not happy with the system, why don't you quit? Why don't you quit? The first time during the burial of Kenei, he talks about the system. Yesterday, he's talking about the system. And to make matters worse, he's daring that come on, come baby. So it means, as a peace expert, when you look at triggers, that is a trigger of recipe for conflict and chaos and violence. And I hope the people who are charged in that, they should be able to ask him, record statement and tell us, what is this? He knows that we don't know. And let me tell you, Dr. Masanga said, the president, the deputy president is undermining the legacy of the president. The senators in the parliament yesterday, they were talking about win-win, the formula, let them just get the formula. And that is the same message he was speaking yesterday. So to me, those who don't learn from history are condemned to repeat it. When you have been given an opposition some work to do, work with humility. You had worked with the prime minister. He created him. The president has given him the privilege of becoming his debut. So what do I want to say? Don't use God when it is favorable that you have God. Who doesn't have God? Do we worship idols? We are not devil worshippers. We worship God. God is for us all. And in fact, he has been accused of, he has been alleged that he has stolen from the people of this country. Where is that God? You think there's no God in heaven? God will only look at you when things are not going your way? Mr. Deputy President, be very careful when you make that step. I hope you join your boss and the Prime Minister building a united Kenya. You will need this united Kenya when you become the president. If God gives you the way to be a president, you will need. And what you do to others is what will be done to you. Don't undermine the president. The president is so much committed in ensuring that this country remains united. So if it's 2022 will come, we will go for an election and life will go on. What is he do? Is earning the money for the people of Kenya. What kind of work is he doing? Calling people to your residence, telling them the system, and you are calling them the residents of the government which has given you. I'm not happy with that kind of statement. I'm so much upset.
I can see that, Prof. Let's give you a moment there to just, because he's part of the government. And as you mentioned there, Prof, and a lot of Kenyans have said, if you're not very happy working in the same government, that you feel you don't believe in a lot of things that is happening there. Why are you still there if the marriage is not working? A lot of Kenyans have asked. Why haven't you not just, gotten a divorce or something? But in his boldest short yet at Deep State Operatives, Kenya's second in command yesterday likened the roadblocks on his 2022 presidential bid to similar efforts to block him and President Kenyatta's candidature in 2013. Karen, Deputy President, when he was talking yesterday, I actually paid attention to that speech he was giving there. He sounded to me, or maybe I'm just overthinking it, but he sounded to me a person, and you've said there, Professor, like he is entitled. He feels he's owed this opportunity, and he feels it is time for payback. Karen, did you watch that speech, and what did you make of it? He feels, I deserve this. Entitled.
Okay. I agree with believing so much in ourselves, because if we don't believe so much in ourselves, then it will be very difficult for other people to believe in us. However, leadership does not involve things to do with payback. Right now, we're looking for, we want a leader who will not think of anything like anything that has to do with political revenge or anything. And leadership entails responsibility. When you have, you have a responsibility to serve the people, but as well, you shouldn't say some things that could spike conflict. And so what I can say is, as much as we want to have a leader in 2022, but then these people who are aspiring to be leaders should avoid sentiments that could raise eyebrows and spike conflict, Miriam, because leadership should not involve spiking conflict in any way. In what we say, in what we do, it shouldn't, Miriam. Thank you very much.
All right, and still in that, the Nation says the DP plans to adopt a similar strategy like that which they adopted in 2013 when they were facing indictment, him and now President Uhuru Kenyatta, using his perceived persecution by the system in courts to his advantage, just like they used the West's disapproval of their candidature in 2013 to their advantage. So this seems to be a strategy that Deputy President is adopting, according to the Nation, to advance his 2022 bid. Doctor, will it work? And also, did he sound like he's entitled yesterday, Doctor?
Entitlement, self-confidence, does not go. I like the words Karen has brought in. All of us are entitled to self-confidence. When you are going for an exam, you must say, I will pass. I don't think there's anybody who says.
But in this case, he feels, President Uhuru Kenyatta, you owe me. President Uhuru Kenyatta, you must.
I'm coming to that one.
Yes.
Miriam, I'm coming to that one. I wanted to balance, bring out, so that they don't think we are all speaking the same language. Because if we all say we led, we don't like him. No, we want to give him that element of confidence.
We like him,
now,
of course, yes.
The confidence is good, but negative confidence is very dangerous. You are talking of, okay, nyenye, let me come. I will come. That is not type of confidence the country Kenya needs now. The country of Kenya needs, Jamen, let's fight COVID now. This guy is even opening his mouth without a mask. Hakuna mask ya watu, and he has collected people from Kajiado who have traveled, and the COVID is here. Tomorrow is gonna succumb, God forbid, then he will return on people to say, people have poisoned me. You look at this. He doesn't have a mask on. He's a leader in this country. I have seen all presidents, Museveni, Kagame, everybody who is addressing anybody, they are masked. Munagagwa, even when we speak on phone, he's on a mask. But this guy is not on mask. He's speaking to hundreds of people who he has crowded in his tents to feed them on garbage that is going to destroy the country. If people don't say these things now, we shall have no time to say them. I've given you a simple story, Miriam, this morning. In 1979-80, we used to tell Paul Mwanga that this guy is giving us signals that he's going to go to the bush. People did not listen. Now Paul Mwanga is dead, Obote is dead. Most of the people who did not listen to me are dead. All of them are gone. The only one left is Rwakasisi. He's in Uganda. He went to jail for many years. Rwakasisi listened to me. He knows it. We were in the same office with Rwakasisi. He knows. I was the only youngest man around there in the UNLF because I was working in the Uganda National Liberation Front diplomatic office of the group of 5, Rugumayo, Yashitandon, Nabudere, Nasasira, and Omonyo Jok. We used to see these signs. For me, as a person, an observer from outside, you are Kenyans. Mine is, I am seeing another trend where people, where the results are free and fair, they will never agree to the results. Miriam, have you seen that?
Mm-hmm.
That is what the deputy president is planting into people. Unfortunately, you see, if we were doing these things, also leave a gap to cry. I've been telling you this thing every morning. When the mafia people order for people to be assassinated on the streets of Italy, the mafia also leaves a place of escape. So that in case the assassination does not go through, you have to dike through a hole and disappear. Now, as the deputy president is doing this, you know why he's resorting to minority groups. He erred in the majority groups. I swear in the name of God, on this revenue allocation, he has shown the real colors that you will never get a vote in Mount Kenya, Mr. Ruto, because you have misled Murkomen to come and mislead the people. I swear, this one, there is nobody from this group that will give you, and the group has the vote. Even in that Western where you talk, you want their money to be taken away and balanced, yet they also have needs. You will not get a vote. So you see, it is like M7 removing the title at the term limit, then the age limit. Then he forgot that God can come at any time and force you to do pickups. What are they called? 40, 20, 50. You know, you forgot. He forgot that instead of changing the constitution, have you seen Prof? He should have told his Minister of Constitutional Affairs to go to Parliament from March to change and declare a state of emergency and protect his presidency. While they were cheating on age and extending everything, extend, they failed to extend the state of emergency. And again, tell me now, Bob, baby, let's also use the word come, baby, come. Have you seen where Uganda is heading now? It wants to do a scientific election without scientific equipment. Your word is your silence, and your word is the same as mine. You know, Miriam, you know why I don't want to hear it. As we speak now, they are burying my uncle. They have said I should address the gathering. I've refused. Because they have sent troops there. They are standing there to listen. I don't want to say anything. Let my uncle be buried in good faith. God help him. He's gone. But a disaster is seriously developing where you have you ever gone to a physics laboratory to do an experiment in physics when you don't have the equipment? Mm-hmm. Or chemistry. Mm-hmm. You don't have test tubes. And they have told you, we want you to mix chlorine with this to find the litmus paper, this, litmus, this. You are a teacher, my dear sister. Put this to form this. But the equipment to make it to form, zero. So what will the people, students of that school where there are no equipment in the university resort to? A riot. So, yes. Professor, prepare your skills for a bigger riot.
Very well. So, enough with the deputy president and what he said yesterday.
Miriam, I want to make this point.
Yes.
how the statement from the deputy president should not be taken lightly. Sometimes back, some parties in this country in an election, they said we will only lose this election if it is rigged. What will happen when you lose legitimately? Your people will know it was rigged. He is saying that there is a system. When he's going to lose, what has he told his people? His supporters? That our victory has been snatched. So those statements are very, very reckless, unfortunate, and should not come from a leader of his caliber.
There you are.
All right.
Yes, and I was finishing one last thing, Miriam, because we want to give this guy also an element. Me, I am not concerned much about your internal dynamics. I'm concerned about external dynamics. And that's why I'm here. That's why I will be wherever I will be. I've been in this region for fighting since 1978. Different rebel formats. Yes. So Mutu asifikiri I'm talking from stupidity. This DP has a plan B. And the area we started discussing it, exposing it, eliminating it, the better. That plan B. Yes, if he talks publicly like this, what about what he talks quietly? I studied intelligence. I was born before him. So he cannot tell me he's more older than me.
All right.
I wore shoes, butter shoes, 1958. Jiggers pierced me, but I'm not seeking compensation or politics. Yes, this morning I've just talked to my mother when she told me she conceived me in yes, she told me she wedded in 1956, in 54. Then her and the father, they had their first child called David. This huge man who came out 80 pounds. You know, that's heavy. Kumbe, this thing came back. It's heavy. My mother has just told me this morning, she's still alive. She's going for the burial of uncle. This uncle was the best man. He was the best man on the wedding. The father, yes, so she has just told me this just now that you came out to heaven and you are still heavy in your voice. That's what she told me this morning, just now. I was 80 pounds. In a dispensary called Buburo Dispensary. I was hammered out during that time, 3:30 a.m. Mchana. Hapana watu hii wenye wanazaa usiku. I don't know what the professor was born at night. Always 90 children have a problem with.
I don't know that was daktari.
So, Miriam, I'm bringing a sense of hope to show to your show. And we went out.
All right. Yeah.
The EP has got plan B. And the area is giving you signal. So, this, for us, we shall help President Uhuru Kenyatta. For us who have been in this game for a long time, experienced, as long as we are alive and he has not finished us, we shall tell the president, yeah, he equal plan B. Anawaambia, mnataka kuiba kura, but I will bring plan B. So, anyway, watch.
Prof, I want us to look at something else because of time, because you have to go prepare for the other show. But the things that I think also we should look at, what happened yesterday in Senate and perhaps what is happening right now at City Hall and the resignation of Elachen, what that means to the Nairobi leadership. But first, let's look at For a record 8th time, the Senate yesterday failed to make a decision on the controversial third basis formula for sharing revenue among counties. Speaker Kenneth Lusaka abruptly interrupted the sitting of the House late in the evening as the senators haggled over the procedural issues amid claims that they were already predetermined position that the state was pushing. So let me look at... So by this time, the lawmakers were debating on amendment brought by Ms. Petronila Were, nominated, in which she is seeking the approval of the House to have a second-generation formula retained to share out the 316.5 billion Kenya shillings for the counties in this financial year. And also, before the debate of Ms. Were's proposal, the House had approved the proposal by Meru Senator Mithika Linturi, which proposes that the formula should only apply to any allocations that are above 270 billion Kenya shillings. A lot of money is there and a lot of amendments there. Yesterday, two were brought into the floor of the House there. And so the session was postponed to Thursday. I mean, yes, Prof. I mean, are we likely to see the end of this anytime soon?
No, Miriam. You see, again, Miriam, you're asking very nice question. Look back from last week. What did I tell you? I told you, and we said it. Professor said it. Professor originally was not happy with my original stance on distribution of this money. But later on, I think he went, as a senior man, went back to study more. He came back on the line to say, we don't give money to trees. We don't give money to animals. We don't give money to Tsafo Park. We don't give money to Tsafo Park. There was one stupid senator there saying that Tsafo Park, Malala, useless. Where did these people go to school to? Senator Malala said he wrote a play. I think, why did the people of Karamoja elect comedians of Kakamega? I thought Malala had gone to school and studied. But he said, Tsafo Park brings more money. But Tsafo Park brings money. Who manages Tsafo Park? Human being. Animals don't manage Tsafo Park. If we left those animals to manage Tsafo Park, they would come up to Voi on the main road and kill people.
And the tourism ministry, I think, manages the parks, the national parks.
That's exactly. Mm-hmm. So if you left those hyenas, they always come to the road. Would we be going to Mombasa?
No.
Would my sister here she drives to Malindi in that oxygen bus? Hyenas will be very many on the road. Elephants will be very many on the road. So who manages the Tsafo Park is a human being. Who is that human being? Samboja. Who is Samboja? The governor of Taveta. Isn't it? It is the man whom you give the money. But you don't give Tsafo National Park money. It is Samboja who finds how much money should be given to Tsafo to buy an electric fence to stop animals from stopping us crossing over to Malindi to do our work. So, whatever you say, east or west, the people of the Mount, the people of Central Region, Rift Valley, Kisumu, Kakamega, Kitui are more. They need more money. The people of Masabit, Shoro, Wajir, Mandela are few. They also need money. If they have a project that needs quick development, there is equalization fund. That's it. I don't know why they are debating what. What does the Constitution say? Miriam, wait to this one. Determination does not remove constitutionalism. If the CRA has already participated with public participation, collected the views, what the parliament should do is to determine. The Constitution says determination. It does not mean you change what the CRA. To change what the CRA has brought to the Senate, you need to go back to Parliament and make a new law, remove the powers of the CRA. You don't discuss outside the perimeters
of CRA.
You can
but CRA itself came out the other time through its chair, and she said that CRA perhaps should, that the bill right now, the amendment should take a pause so that it goes further to consult with the people of Kenya and all that, so that it comes up with a formula that will be seen to be okay for the country. So by it coming and saying now it should go back and consult, does it not throw the spanner in the works?
Because it can, if they want more consultation, that's why Senator Kagata of Muranga is saying, put this thing for 2 years. Why don't you see the sense? But because Ruto is telling Murkomen to open his teeth, open teeth, oh, Mr. Tepeka. Don't you see where the problem is, Mama?
All right, very well. So Mr. Linturi's amendment, which is a further amendment to the one brought by Nairobi's Senator Johnson Sakaja, wants the counties to equally share 270 billion Kenya shillings and the remaining 46.5 billion Kenya shillings to be subjected to the formula developed by the Commission on Revenue Allocation. So this is what Linturi says. The 270 billion should be divided equally among the 47 counties, but the remaining 46.5 billion Kenya shillings should be subjected now to the formula. Remember, what is at stake here is 316.5 billion Kenya shillings, the money that is allocated in the 47 counties here. Prof.
No, before Prof comes in.
For the interest of time.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have time.
Okay.
Prof, look at me. We can't even discuss this thing here now because it's a long journey. We have broken the law. Miriam, I don't know whether you have picked my point of the law. Minturi cannot go to Gigomba market or Meru market of Mira, collect the figures and bring it. That's the point. That is the point. And that's why Kamara, who has studied more books than Matanga, than all of us, Professor Kamara said, and let's talk like people who have brains. Professor Kamara told you that she cannot discuss anything outside the CRA. Therefore, you cannot go to Meru market or Sungoi market, sit with Ruto in the bedroom and get the figures. Then come, where did the figures come from? The only department that brings the figures is which department? Is which one? Who gives us the figures? The CRA used the figures, Mama, Miriam. let's not discuss an illegality. The man causing this problem is the speaker, who is not making a stand. Who is not making, you can't come and say amendment, then amend, then an amendment, then an amendment. Which parliament is this? Where I have been on this earth longer than Lusaka. Lusaka is a young man. Mwache hiyo maneno. I'm older than Lusaka. Look at Lusaka's age. Which amendment is he talking about to allow on the floor all the time? Why is he allowing? Look, the basic thing is this. CRA brought a formula. You either reject it, but you don't mutilate it. You have no powers to mutilate it. Because the woman worked on the constitution. The woman is a constitutional body, Jamen. Even if you pass this formula today and say, remove money from the people of Muranga and Nyeri and take this money away, somebody from Nyeri will go to court and freeze this whole thing, which we are wasting the country's tax. Leo wacha niwaambiane kwa kweli. You don't give money to trees. You don't give money to an ocean in the marine to know how many sharks are in the ocean. You give a human being, a governor of Kilifi, to manage the marines. I have never seen a country which gives money to ocean or animals or hyena. It is the first country in the world called Sub-Saharan Africa. Kenya giving animals money, lion to eat, and elephant to step on money. This is a very, very dangerous situation we are in. The Speaker of the National Senate must stand up, pull his trousers, and stop causing chaos. The motion is very clear. Very clear. CRA cannot be altered. You return to the sender. And that is why Kangata, a good lawyer, a constitutional lawyer, not Murkomen who faked the papers from the United States of George Soros. I will tell you another story I've got it. When he came to lecture in Nairobi University with papers. Fuck it. Don't bring me any chaos, man. Kangata is correct. Give 2 years, let the CRA go back and find out more. If I were a senator, the senator of any of these counties, you know what I would do? I would agree with Kangata's formula. And that is why Senator Orengo was pleading with them. Senator Orengo was saying, we are crying over 15%. Why don't we come back and take time and then cry for more money, which is held up? You see, there's more money being stolen in the Ministry of Health. There's more money being stolen in the fertilizer supplying by this man of Sungoi. And Murkomen brought the dams of Elelero and Cameroon. Isn't it his henchman who stole the money? This guy, which country is this? What is the problem?
Doc, I actually heard that part and I had to hold my breath for a moment to just...
Yeah, Miriam, let me have this to say. I entirely associate myself with the sentiment of Dr. Masanga. The Commission for Revenue Allocation is the one which is mandated by the Constitution. And if we don't need it, there is a procedure to disband. The Constitution gives that if you are not happy with any section of the Constitution, you remove it. So what the senators have done, they have gone beyond their powers. And even the 270 you are talking about, where did he get those figures? Which statistics are they using? And let me tell you, the motion for Petrolina Were and Senator Kangata, it gives leeway, it talks about 2 years, because from this kind of Senate, you can't see leadership. So we are banking perhaps.
Yes.
Perhaps the coming senators will see sense of building one. You know, they talk about one Kenya and they don't understand. So my take is this. And Dr. Masanga, you have no fear. People will go to court because the 270 billion figures have not been subjected to public participation. And the senator should, let me tell you, Dr. Masanga, I can tell you for a fact, the Senate is present to have the legs of Senator Rengo and Senator Wako. They understand the law. You see, yesterday, they wanted to take a vote, and there were other amendments, there were other motions. So what we are seeing in the Senate is politics, Miriam. This is not the rule of law. And the sooner these people come to the realization, if they cannot agree, return it to the Commission on Revenue. And even if we were to maintain that one, why can't we use the latest statistics available? That's what will guide us. Every count has got its own population. Every count has got its poverty index. This is the way to go. But otherwise, the way we are trying to see, we are going to watch more in this space. And I'm not seeing this bill passing so soon.
It won't pass.
It won't
It won't pass. It won't pass because Kamara, Professor Kamara, is 100% woman correct. We made a constitution. Let's abide by the constitution. The CRA has told you this is how things should go. If you have any problem, you go back to the law and amend the law, but you cannot bring figures from Marakiti market in Marakiti, Mira market from that Senator Linturi. Linturi who cannot manage a home. How can he bring a figure which we can trust? We were told here by the newspaper and the court that he is not able to manage service. Home service. You know, home service is very important. So how do we manage home service? You rely on a senator who cannot manage the home domestic service agencies to bring you a formula because you have discussed with a man in your Sungoi home. He told you bring this, and then Sakaja, who is on 300 a day, caught drinking in another place. He's trying to wash his image that I am the senator of Nairobi. Who will elect Sakaja? Who on planet Earth here? Sakaja will never be elected anywhere. And the earlier he seeks his identity, the better. They should not harass the people of Nyeri, Muranga, Kiambu, Kakamega. The senator of Kakamega will never even see light in Kakamega. He has killed his career. Let him go back to the career of writing this, the shackles.
He's a gifted.
You know, he wrote the shackles. Useless. I didn't. You can't give money to animals in the Tapo Park. You give money to Samboja, Governor Samboja, who distributes how much electric fence bundles do we to tie where the elephant has broken the fence or the animals have been.
That is under Kenya Wildlife, I think, Services. He doesn't even do that.
So even Zafo is under the ministry directly,
tourism, yes.
and the Ministry of Tourism.
And under the Kenya Wildlife Services.
So these senators eat our money, your Kenyan money, without even research. They don't have research. That so-called man of shackles Shackles from where? There is a called Shackles of. He wrote a play called The Shackles of what?
Shackles of Doom.
Of Doom. Let him go back. He's better as a drama teacher to do drama in the National Theatre than being a senator. If I were in Kakamega, again, I would even choose maybe Harare, because Harare reasons. But this one has finished. He's gone, and let Raila not bring him near his campaign.
All right, let's.
Watu watamkataa.
Karen, yes. Karen has been quiet. Yes, can she say something and then we continue? Yes, go ahead.
Yes.
Tunasaidia. We want to help the president. And we are not going to sit here, watch the deputy president sit in his house to tell Murkomen to come with his problem, to tell us when they ate the money of Emerero and the Kimerero Dam. They are the people. He is part of the money. He said 7 billion in shillings, not 21, but 7. Where is the money? Where is the money? Ruto said 7 billion. Where is it? Where is it? The money in Italy has not died. I have been following him. He's not dead. Mafia, he could have said he died. He's alive. Can the government of Kenya go and collect that money from him? Can Ruto send people there to collect the money with the bank guarantee? Mnaiba pesa za wananchi tena unakuja kusema it is not 21 billion, it is 7. Then Murkomen's wife was supplying new cars to this project. You saw the cars of Murkomen being quoted there. Murkomen's minister, Henry Rotich, gave money to his own people. He said the Kenyans ate the money. Which Kenyans? Which Kenyans ate the money? Don't give Uhuru Kenyatta a headache. No. From the legacy trend, that's how we say. Bring your TV, we bring yours. You make another one, we also make one. Sindio Ruto aliambia wewe analeta TV. Later. Tutapishana paka mwisho. Msitisha watu. Mnaiba pesa. Tena mnakuja mnaambia sisi. Emerero and Kimeroro. You are reminding people. Mungu alikuja kumaliza. You see, some of us have been in Murkomen is every morning quoting Bible. What Bible does he know? Let him know how he was breaking George Soros and Rainberger. You know, Murkomen wrote a statement to fix Ruto. Why doesn't Murkomen apologize to Kenyans for having written a statement to the ICC to fix Ruto? Ruto is annoyed with other people when the man who wrote a statement is always eating his food in the current home, in the kitchen. Who was the witness number 544? Who was the witness? OTP 544. Nyanya muwache, tutatoboa hiyo maneno sasa. Don't harass Uhuru Kenyatta. The legacy is here to support Uhuru Kenyatta. You touch him like that small David indeed. Where? I am now releasing a dossier on David indeed. In 3 hours, read my blog. There is a dossier. We are not dealing with men, with some, we are dealing with men and women. Men who pretend to be women. Let's release the dossier now. Leo ndio muone. Don't harass Uhuru Kenyatta every day. What has he done wrong? What has Uhuru done wrong? You went and stole the money. Was Uhuru stealing the money? God sent a signal for you. The landslide came and swept you to show you how bad you were. Because you stole the money that was going to help the area. Wasn't it Murkomen? Can you drive to Murkomen's house and reach? You will reach in Christmas from September. And then he says he doesn't want the money. Is there anybody educated in here? I sponsor him. I will pay my insurance fund is now mature 25 years in London. I will sponsor somebody who can throw this boy out. Then watch anyone be musikie. You cannot harass. We are not saying we don't want the people of Northeastern to be not given money. There is a formula. And if we are constitutional, follow the formula. You don't manufacture your figures in the bedroom with Ruto, and then come to read the figures on the floor. Lusaka Mwanaomai, you are digging your grave. These senators are going to give a vote of no confidence in you. And among you, it will be a disaster for you. You will have no job anywhere. Mina kwambia, you cannot allow this. You go to the market and collect the figure, and I come back and come from the market of Mira in Meru, and I say, these are the figures. They use the figures, the CRLs use the figures of the census. Give reference. If I'm marking the essay, if I was marking the essay of Munduri, I would have given him 0 because he did not quantify and put reference. Where did he get these figures to be able to divide this money? If I'm wrong, let Jesus hold my hand. Let Jesus hold my hand. They stole the Emerald Dam money, ate it. Ooh, they ate it. The man even stopped his plane. His helicopter was in the midway. He said, return. President Uhuru is in the judiciary. Return quickly. I want to go there. He told us, didn't you? Bring that clip. Bring the clip, production team. Bring the clip where Ruto said the money is not 21 billion. It is 7 billion. Bring it. I want my viewers to see the type of lies. You are another could threaten the people that he will do what? We know Museveni threatened the people like that, and the people jokingly thought it was a threat. He went to the bush and destroyed the whole country. If you are not careful, you are breeding another one. Bring that clip of the studio of the judiciary before we end the video. Bring it. Where Ruto said it is not 21 billion, it is 7 billion, and it has a bank account. Now go to Italy, bring us the money.
You've heard, for example, that, the government has lost 21 billion in Kimwarer and Aror Dam, which is a flat lie. The money in question is about 7 billion. And for every coin that has been paid, we have a bank guarantee. No money will be lost because we are a responsible government. We have engaged every arm of government to make sure that public resources are safe, and therefore the correct information must be used as we target the fight against corruption so that we can nail the true culprits. Sometimes when we say 9 billion has been lost, and then when it goes to court, it is 100 million. The public is asking, what happened to 8.1 billion? So we shoot ourselves in the foot.
We're back. So there, for Prof and Karen, you did not hear. So what the Deputy President is saying, that the money that people are saying got lost to 21 billion is saying is a lie, that the money that got lost to 7 billion, and it can be accounted for cent by cent there from what he said there, and we know what has happened since then. So that is what I was saying.
Let me keep quiet. I am not talking anymore. You have heard what the man said. A responsible government does not lose money. Then Murkomen yesterday said we ate the money that the people of Nyeri, Muranga, Kiambu ate the money of Ameroro Dam.
You can hear?
We are going to deal with these thugs. You know, these are thugs. You haven't seen a man who started the real political science. It's the guy. Whether in Kenya or abroad there, I am going to make sure that I protect the Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's legacy with these thugs. These are thugs. Very big thugs. Easy. They stole the money and then they came and said there's a bank guarantee. Wapi bank guarantee later? Studio, I have been following that man who has been making dams. I have my network from Paris. You don't know us, Ruto. We are many. We are many. We are many in this world. We are many. Even if you kill one, there are many. In fact, we now know where that man is. So go and tell him to bring our money. Go and I am fighting for Kenyans to receive their money. The 63 billion. I'm following that Italian mafia. We have put 6 to 10 people watching his telephones in the world, in Europe. I will help Africa. Everywhere, I will help Africa. I will help Africa. Professor, when you come to find when I'm dead, saying I will help Africa and I will help Kenya to recover that money. You are not going to that hotel in Dolphin if you have not also brought back the money. You bought saucepans, you bought bed sheets, you bought, which dam is this? Which dam is this that is built on bed sheets? And the cathedral, Uma. Which dam is this? You are blaming Uru. What has Uru done? What has Uhuru done? Uhuru gave you responsibility and you went to steal. So Uhuru alifanya nini? Did Uhuru go to steal the dam money? The man who stole the dam money is Henry Rotich. And they gave to his clansmen, including Murkomen, as a lawyer. Every time NYS1 Murkomen, NYS2 Murkomen. Why is he appearing in all this is money? A man who had no shoes. His shoes were from the Gikomba market. Now he wears shoes which he imports. Where did he get the money? At least Matanga, I can explain where my shoes come from. Clerks. Clerks. Clerks of London. Because I've worked. This behavior of threatening people, Miriam, what has annoyed me is this behavior of threatening that we shall see. Bring it on. It reminds me of how Museveni threatened us. And I was telling the president, Obote, let's get this guy. You know, Obote said, this is my son. Leave him out to talk to him. He disappeared. Today he's doing hiccups. Is it, what are they, Paps?
Fresh
one. You know, politics in the letter sheet.
All right, Professor, Speaker Kenneth Lusaka yesterday even attracted a lot of criticism, even from Kenyans themselves. Has he failed to when it comes to leadership in the House, in Senate?
In fact, Miriam, the Speaker of the Senate, he does not understand the law. He does not understand the standing orders. And in fact, he is accepting a lot of ignorance. And if you don't understand the law, you don't understand the standing orders. And no wonder as the debate was going on, you realized he disappeared. He just disappeared because he realized that he has made a blunder. So in terms of leadership, and he has not provided leadership to the Senate because you should stick to the law and advise accordingly. Don't just come to tell the floor of the House that the House Business Committee had passed this one. They can pass an illegality. You are and in fact, let me tell you even the clerks of the assembly, they are also doing a lot of disservice. But I want to imagine there is someone who is pulling the strings. You cannot escape not to see that such a simple regulations, orders of the Senate are not followed. See how they wanted to harass, and they say now we are finished. Let the mover come and move, and then we cross everything else. Senators are there to debate. The majority let them have their way, but those who are having dissenting views, let also be heard. So in summary, Ken Lusaka, now I can realize why he was buying a wheelbarrow for 109,000 now. I can realize now. I can show the connection.
And Kenyans brought up that issue there, Professor Karen.
Yes, we are good. You know, Ken Lusaka is my younger man. I have been telling him, last week I defended him. But now, if he is messing, I will withdraw the defense. I swear this same group that Ken Lusaka is trying to please, of this is Zagaja, that this, you can't go to Meru market in Meru and collect data, then come and say the CRA, which was mandated by the government, who is paid by the taxpayer, it's wrong. Where on earth? Munioneshe jameni nyeni. Then now, the speaker allows this illegality to flow in the Senate. They don't want now, because the sense is coming from down. When the two motions are debated, is when the sense will come. Now the group of mafia, which told us that 21 billion was not stolen, but 7, was quick to notice that if the two debates come on the floor.
And Doctor, why do you think Murkomen, Karen, before I get to you, why do you think Murkomen had to bring up because that surprised me, had to bring up the Kimorer and Arol dams, knowing very well that what happened in that, and the case is still in court?
Because he said he hates Kenyatta. He hates President Kenyatta. It is very bad to have a man who pretends to like you when he doesn't like you. What did I say in the beginning?
But the loss of the money is attached to people from that
from
area.
His
it has
area.
Nothing to do with...
Mr. Rotich comes from his area. The minister who went and supplied, when the deputy president flew into Rome, go to the hotel where he was staying. In that group, there were intelligence officers of the government. What he discussed, the people he saw, the report is always there. The Italian intelligence has the report. You need only to trigger a system in Europe and you get the report. Well. When you do things, do them that you know. Wachana na hiyo ushenzi ya village. My friend, when you reach a hotel, if you're a minister, check every corner. Because you know, for them to have prepared a presidential suite, they have planted things there. Some of us were trained by North Koreans. I was in North Korea for 6 months, I ate some snake, dried snake. Where? At the ready.
Doctor, you're about to mess up my breakfast. Karen, what do you make of this chaos in Senate?
Yeah, I ate a snake, wine snake.
I'm about listen, I'm about to go to my breakfast after this.
As you go, South Korea, the wine with a snake dried, poison removed.
Yes.
To drink the snake wine.
And the snake heart, I hear it's very good for men. I don't know for what, but doctor.
Yes, I will tell you more.
No, stop, Karen. The chaos in Senate. Yesterday.
No, can't you see? Can't you see? Look at my uncle's picture, the face, and look at me. Our faces. That's how we look like.
All right. So it's genetic for you. So the heated
is very good.
All right. So yesterday, the heated debate. The heated debate in Senate yesterday at times degenerated into name calling, jeers, heckling, and even ethnic slurs. And as a lot of instances, it was as a Kenyan who know where the country has been for the went to a couple of years ago, and you hear a lot of emotions were being elicited in Senate, especially when it came to these ethnic slurs. It really got me a bit nervous because we don't want to decide on certain things that are important to the country based on ethnicity, and we saw that at play in Senate yesterday. Can our leaders, even as they debate on this very important thing, remember that always Kenyans are watching, and what they say matters, and it has the capacity to elicit other things that really might not be very good for this country. Can they sober up when they're having these important debates there in Senate or in any other part, parliament or otherwise public event?
Miriam, it's very...
Let Karen answer that and then Prof will come in. Yes, go ahead, Karen.
Yes, it's very difficult to control their emotions when they are having those debates. So we cannot actually make them sober up. It's something that has been happening. But all we're asking for as Kenyans is for them to weigh the heaviness of the words before even saying them. Because it's very shameful, because we are talking of something that has been a key here for some time. And this is the 8th time we're talking about this whole thing. So as much as we want them to sober up, it's very difficult for us to control their emotions. But it's good as a leader to learn to control your emotion. That is it's a very important thing to learn to control your emotion. Otherwise, you will find yourself saying some things that will be used against you, or doing something that could incite the country as a whole. So leadership entails even being very careful of what you're about to say, just not leading the people. Mm-hmm. But we wish they would sober up, but it's very difficult as the way it is, Miriam.
Yeah,
and talking about the numbers, I was about to come in when Dr. Masanga contributed something there.
Go ahead, Karen.
Talking of the numbers, Miriam, the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, is the body that can give us not only accurate data, historical accurate data, but can also predict data that is accurate. I don't know where these people are getting the numbers from. I don't even understand it, because not only can it give us historical data that is correct or accurate, it can give us predictive data that is very correct and can enable us make decisions that can take us somewhere. Miriam, I'm a fellow panelist. These vocal politicians are simply guided by a mindset often evident in the form of what we refer to by psychologists as cognitive bias, which is not, in this case, it doesn't lead us anywhere. It makes them make the wrong conclusions and actions. Mm-hmm. So I don't know where they're getting all this from. We should be guided by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. These people are using little data to make gigantic decisions, and it's not just right. Medium.
Professor, cognitive bias.
She hit the name. Mm-hmm. I have nothing to say. Thank you very much, Karen.
Prof, when they stand there, and assuming I'm coming from one of those counties that are perceived to be losing, and I hear this so many times, and I hear the way our leaders come out there and in an effort for me to believe that they're defending me, I saw a lot of things happening, and at the end of the day, Kenyans who are coming from these areas that are perceived to be losing or whatever, when this narrative keeps playing and playing and playing and playing and debating, and the things that they give as reasons as to why they're backing this, as much as they feel it's founded or not, what is the dangers in certain narratives being pushed, as we saw that happen in Senate yesterday?
Miriam, thank you for that good question. The Kenya we enjoy today has been worked by people who believe in one Kenya. I did say here sometime that when Koigi Mwamwere was detained in Muratego, when he went there, the person who was welcoming him was the late Member of Parliament for Kitutu Masaba, George Anyona. He welcomed him, and Koigi could not understand why would someone welcome him to prisons. And Anyona told him, Koigi, Kenya has what work to be done, and this has to do it. Nobody can do it. However, I pray that our members of Parliament should go back to 1960s and hear the echoes of the founding father of this nation. He promised to fight ignorance, poverty, and disease. Even in sustainable development goals, they are also addressing that. Some of these senators, Miriam, can add the debate. And if I'm lying, how do you see that a member of Parliament having a paper just like this? I'm in a show. I'm having a paper so that I can write what someone did, so that I can be able to remember. The border, the pounder of Semirite, they cannot debate. So they earn the salaries not from their counties. They earn the salary from the taxpayers. And even Article 96 of the Kenyan Constitution, it says they should be able to take the interest of the counties. Fine, a mistake was done in the county. And let me tell you, I have gone through the formula. And Dr. Masanga said, if they want to listen for free, let Professor Kamal give them free lecture with no malice. She was in the parliament. She knew how they had heard in the first formula. And in the second Senate, which was making the second formula, they hardly did nothing. And this one, the Commission for Revenue Allocation, they have allocated money with all the factions which were devolved. And that's how we have arrived at that one. But what we want to see, Miriam, in the Senate, it has got nothing to do with money being taken from one county or to the other. It is pure politics, Machiavellian kind of politics. Someone wants to frustrate the legacy of the president. We have said it here and we will continue to say it. In fact, Miriam, I have been aspiring to enter either in the Assembly or the National Assembly or Parliament, where you can debate. Even here, when you ask us questions, you ask us questions, we internalize and answer. How will you see someone trying to say, the people of Kiambu? Let me just speak the Kiambu and Baringo. Go and see the kind of poverty in those places. And you will ask, is there where the second president was coming from and the first president? So my brother and my sister and my fellow Pan-African brother, let us rise high. The people of this country are looking at the Senate to provide leadership. And we have talked about this, the architect of the Kenyan Constitution, they talked about the equalization funds and fund. And they are saying that it is not in operation. Is it my mistake? I don't register. They should have registered. And let me tell you for one, and this is the way forward, they should listen to us. Let us adopt the current formula. Let us operationalize there. And even the Prime Minister, and let me hear this, Miriam. Raila Odinga is not a fool. He's an old man. He has done all that it takes to build a modern Kenya, even the peace and tranquility we are saying. He said those counties which are perceived to lose money, and they are not losing, their cases should be presented to the national government. Do they need schools? Do they need poles? Do they need roads? Do they need whatever they need? And the national government will do that one. If someone has chosen not to act into voice of reason, what do? You simply go to the floor of the Senate and raise motions to innocent people of Kenya. Here, Senator for Elgeyo Marakwet, Murkomen, he talks that Kenyans have gone there to steal their money. No. Say, you have been involved to steal the money. So that's the most unfortunate thing. Wherever people in this country, when they cannot debate, when they cannot talk, they run to their tribes. And you cannot offer.
Professor, let me help you. Let me add something there. Murkomen should say, the boss who said 21 billion and was not stolen, that's 7. The mafia man who knows the figures is the one who stole the money. Not us, not Kenyans.
The accountant. Who did
Kenyans
that?
did not go to Elgeyo Marakwet to steal Murkomen's money. The people who stole the money are Rotich and his boss. They better go and look for it. They had a bank guarantee. The deputy president is still the deputy president. Why can't he fly on a private jet and go with a mask in Italy, look for this money? Why are we being brought left, right? Kuna blame Kenyatta. What
Doctor,
did Kenyatta do?
yes, and there's something else President Kenyatta is being accused of. Let's get to the Nairobi politics, Doctor, as we end. I think it's something important that we cannot end the show without talking about. So perhaps I'll just get a comment from each of us and then we'll end the show. Now, the leadership confusion in the Nairobi City County is raging on with yesterday's resignation of Speaker Beatrice Elachi. This latest twist comes at a time when the governor of this most important county, which also hosts the seat of the national government, has been locked out of his office over 357 million Kenya shillings procedural fraud case. Governor Mike Sonko is not only barred from accessing City Hall through a court order, he also signed a deed of transfer, ceding key functions to a national government agency and the Nairobi Metropolitan Services, which reports directly to President Kenyatta, is literally in charge of the capital, leaving Governor Sonko with not much to do. Maybe that's why Governor has been very busy lately, because he, a lot of things that he was doing was transferred. He signed and ceded key functions to the national government. So Elachi yesterday resigned. We know Nairobi does not have a deputy governor, and Mike Sonko is battling that case, the fraud case, in court. And NMS came in to save the day, and of course Sonko and the people who were supporting him are not very happy with these developments. A lot of chaos in Kenya's capital here. We start with let's start with Karen, and then we come to Professor, and Doc will end it for us. Karen.
Okay. I'm so glad in some way that she had to resign, because what she was accused of is really serious. Because we're talking of her, Elachi, that is. Being accused of leading the house, causing some divide in the house. And that is not what we want right now, Miriam, and abuse of office. And she also wrote her letter, her resignation letter, and it was written to our President Uhuru, and not the clerk of the assembly why was it not taken to the clerk of assembly, but then to address to President Uhuru? That shows there is a problem with the office of the clerk. And with her, now we cannot have the same Elachi having a problem with Sonko, the same Elachi having a problem with the clerk of the assembly. There is something that we do not get right here about her. So I think the abuse of office and her causing division in the assembly is something that is worth her writing her resignation letter here. So I think the right thing was done, because I'm told she was pushed to do it. Mm-hmm. And if not for her doing that, then she would have been impeached. And we're looking for leaders here who not cause division. We've tried so much to unite Kenya here. And if you can cause a division in an assembly, then you are not what we want. So I am for her resigning. Mm-hmm. And that is it, Miriam.
All right, Professor, there are key issues there Karen has brought up. Elachi directed her resignation to the president, and yet she was supposed to be directing that to the employers, which are the Nairobi County Assembly there. And also, while she was doing that, she cited unconducive working environment and threats to her life. But with her resigning, has this now thrown this city into some crisis of some sort?
No, Miriam, the city is not in a crisis. And in fact, what the president should do now is even to move a notch high.
And do what?
And disband the Nairobi City County. Why? We can't have constant wrangles. The people of Nairobi need services. And for Iraj, let me just tell you, my dear, and this is where I want to echo those who believe that we need fairness and equity, and my fellow ladies, you have got my support. Where ladies have been given position in this country, we have been seeing them being harassed for no apparent reason at all. So as a peaceful person and as a mother, when someone threatens your life, it's not a mother which you take it very easily and rightly. So I support her resignation. She has got much to offer. And if the president in this country has got something to give her, she's already who has proved that she can work and she can stand for what is the truth. Having said that, you have said why she gave the resignation to the president. Fine. She's serving that position by courtesy of Jubilee Party. And if anything, Jubilee is going to front a speaker. I thought they're going to choose one. So these men of this country, we have come of age. Let us not fight women wherever they have been given position to work. Men who threaten women are not men enough. Why should you go and threaten the speaker? Simply because it's royal to the president. You need to be loyal to the president. And we are serving this country. So all the times, the person who has been elected by the people of Kenya and who wants to leave a legacy is President Uhuru Kenyatta. So any person who is saying that the president wants the people of Nairobi to get services, but I want to tell you, the Nairobi City County is under firm leadership of the Brigadier Major Badi. We are receiving services. There is no vacuum. These members who are called members of the county assembly, in fact, that name should be scribed and be called councillors. They are no longer honorable at all. So you can't impeach someone, then you sponsor another one. Time has come, you can say, no, we can sit together and have a conversation and have an engagement, have to listen together. So on this one, Iraj has done a little bit well. The county of Nairobi will proceed, and some of those councillors, in the name of MCS, Jubilee Party has taken action, has sanctioned them, and I want, especially those who are nominated, who are not pushing the agenda of the party. They are good Kenyans and members of Jubilee who need to be given that position so that they support the Jubilee Party and the Jubilee government to move forward and the president to realize his Vegas.
All right, thank you so much. I'm told we have a retired major there, Bijiwe, join us, and Mesonga, but I'll not have them on the show because we need to end this show and then we get to the other show where they will be. We will have the next discussion. But Doctor, is it about time perhaps the leadership of Nairobi County be disbanded and we get a new crop of leadership as it is right now?
Thank you very much, Miriam. In conclusion, Sonko try us. Try us. Mr. Sonko, try. You come. You hire guns, but they are trained men. Major General Badi is trained officer of the Air Force. He did not join through Shikatalewa Mwea. What is this prison down there?
Shimolatewa.
Yes. He joined through recruitment with Major Bijiwe. He's a trained officer. Where kuja? Try us. Hiyo mambo ya kutishatisha watu. Huko mnakaa huko Karen mnatishatisha watu. Where try Major, you go when Major is building the road. Cross there at night. Msitishatishe watu, threatening people to gain Facebook likes. Facebook likes. Where Songa knows. Facebook likes. That I am Sonko. Like me. Like I am Murukomen. Like I am Senator Murukomen. Nye. Cross there. Kuja usiku huko. Tunajenga barabara usiku. Wewe Sonko kuja. That's all I can summarize this of Nairobi.
So
all Nairobi leaders are childish. From Sakaja, Sonko, they are childish. Children and nonsense. Mature men in the body, they have meat and fat, but they don't have brains. They confuse the city from morning up to evening. Lakini mkuje usiku when we are building the road. Let's meet there.
all right. And I think that is a challenge. So we'll be happy
Wait, Miriam,
to take on.
why do you waste time?
All right, let's leave that
Why,
alone, Doc.
why do you let these guys
Let him show
come
his
at
face.
night when we are constructing this road?
He sounds like you're setting him up, but and you know, governor might
sounds
you're
like
setting him up, but Governor Sonko might actually take your challenge. So you keep daring him. he might show
Governor
his face.
Sonko was told
Yes.
never to step near the office.
But he'll step near the pavements where they're fixing it at night. He might.
Yeah,
Doctor.
so akuje kwa pavement, his office. Akuje usiku, ajaribu. Sijui anasema ako anajua pale bunduki zenye ziko. Kuja usiku when we are building the roads. Utapata. Tutawelcome wewe sana. Msitishatishe jeno. Watu ya jeshi watishatishwe. I hate anybody insulting a soldier.
All right.
Bring it on. Kuja kwa usiku. We do the roads at night. Kuja. Mr. Sonko kuja. Sindio huko governor. Come and inspect them with us. Concrete is there.
All right, Doc, we have to go. I have to yes, I have to have breakfast and then we come back to the next show.
Breakfast. Let's go start now. I will start the show. You join
I will
me.
join. Yes. All right. Prof yesterday also dead.
Sonko is the prefect for Timolewa. This is what prison is this? Timolewa or something? I don't know.
Shimolatewa.
Don't bring a prison prefect to be talking to a general who flies jets. Major General Buddy is an Air Force commander. Musukuji hapa mnasema papa. Bring Shitamoya. Take this guy back to where he belongs.
All right.
Akuja usiku kama tunajenga barabara. We have given him a free invitation and a free ticket towards
Jerusalem.
Free ticket
to Jerusalem. Doc.
Jerusalem.
Doc, we have to end now. Doc will start the next show and I'll join in the next few minutes.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I am tuned now.
Yes, he's tuned.
Currently stay on the show.
And
Everyone
Beja and Daniel and Professor Doc in the next few minutes. So please don't go away. We shall be looking at the security situation.
Welcome, yes. Major Retired Bijiwe.
Yes.
Welcome, Daniel Wesonga.
Yes.
Welcome, Professor.
Yes.
Let's go on with this show. Change.
All right. Don't go too far. We shall be back in the next just a few minutes, a minute or two.
Yes, thank you.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.